Hello, it's PSYCHOCORE, Fractured Mind, the surreal landscape of anxiety disorders. Anxiety is not simply worry. It's not just a moment of tension before an important event. It is a deep, often overwhelming state of inner unrest, a storm that brews beneath the surface of one's mind. For those who live with anxiety disorders, the mind is no longer a sanctuary. It becomes a fractured landscape, filled with distortions, fears, and shadows. In this surreal mental terrain, time stretches and warps. A single minute of panic can feel like an eternity. The heart races, the breath shortens, and thoughts spiral into dark corners that logic can't reach. These sensations are real, terrifyingly real. Anxiety isn't just emotional. It manifests physically, hijacking the nervous system and setting off alarms where no danger exists. This internal world may be invisible to others, but to the person experiencing it, it's all-consuming. Imagine walking through a dream where every sound is louder, every glance is sharper, and every decision feels like life or death. That is the surreal landscape of anxiety. There are many faces of anxiety. Generalized anxiety disorder brings a constant hum of fear, like a background noise that never fades. Panic disorder arrives in waves, crashing suddenly and without warning. Social anxiety creates a sense of performance, a fear of being seen, of being judged. Each disorder has its own surreal distortion of reality. Phobias shrink the world. Spaces that once felt safe are now full of threat. Agoraphobia makes the outside world a dangerous, chaotic place. Obsessive-Compulsive Disorder forces a person into endless rituals, trying to control the uncontrollable. These are not quirks or personality traits. They are symptoms of a brain overwhelmed by fear signals. For the person experiencing them, these disorders don't feel like separate categories. They blur together. What starts as a small worry grows into a terrifying narrative that feels impossible to escape. It's like living inside a painting that shifts and twists, colors bleeding into each other, forms melting under pressure. It's surreal, it's disorienting, and it's real. In the surreal landscape of anxiety, people develop coping mechanisms to survive. Some avoid triggers at all costs. Others over-prepare, trying to control every detail. Some turn to substances, while others withdraw into silence. Each action is a desperate attempt to find stability in a world that constantly feels like it's falling apart. Therapy becomes a map. Cognitive behavioral therapy helps to untangle thoughts, to question irrational fears. Medication can act like a lighthouse in the storm, offering moments of clarity, reducing the noise. Mindfulness, breathwork, and grounding techniques are tools to reconnect with the body when the mind drifts too far. Recovery is not linear. There are relapses, setbacks, and moments of despair, but there is also growth. The person begins to see their anxiety not as an enemy, but as a message, one that, when decoded, can lead to deeper self-understanding and emotional resilience. Living with anxiety means constantly navigating a surreal reality, but it also means learning how to anchor yourself in truth. The fractured mind doesn't have to remain broken. Over time, with care and attention, the cracks begin to tell a new story. A story of survival, of strength, of reclaiming the parts of the self that were lost in the chaos. Many find their voice through art, music, or storytelling. The surreal nature of their inner world becomes a source of creative expression. What once was unbearable becomes something meaningful, something beautiful in its vulnerability. The journey through anxiety is deeply personal, but no one has to walk it alone. There is help, there is hope, and there is the possibility of peace.